This Thursday, May 30th, MLB Betting Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 100 times your entry with Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Make sure you use that promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by the Mega Memorial Merch Sale. 15% off of everything in the SGPN merch store. Make sure you use that promo code SGPN May. Act now as the sale ends on Friday. Welcome, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is Wednesday, May the 29th, here to get into the betting picks for Thursday, May the 30th. Day baseball, 8-game schedule, as it usually is a shorter schedule on Thursdays. Got some series wrapping up, and then we have some new series starting for the weekend to end out the month of May. But joining me here to help me break everything down on the diamond, I got my guy here with me. It's Dylan Rockford. D-Rock, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, Munaf. I got some good weather here on the East Coast as well. Big fight night coming up here in New Jersey as well. But we have day baseball as well here. And, of course, the Mets are losing once again.
Yeah, you got the good weather right now. I got the bad weather right now. It's been raining all weekend, thunderstorming down here. So,
did you see Robert Griffin's Twitter? What's going on in Texas with the storms?
Yeah, there was so storms. I want to say started like over the weekend. I want to say, and then I think it was like last week or the week prior. There was really bad storms down in downtown Houston, that part of Houston. Luckily for me, I didn't get it too bad. It was today's Wednesday, so I think it was Monday or even I think yesterday where like the lights were flickering and stuff. So it's just getting to that time of year. We're getting close to hurricane season and things like that.
Yeah.
So it hasn't, thankfully, at least in my parts, it hasn't been too serious. But yeah, I know it's been raining all day. It's been thundering a little bit as well. So hopefully the weather does clear up down here in Houston. Yeah, not much that's been going on, at least from the MLB side. I think we already talked about the Angel Hernandez retirement yesterday with myself and Scott. So yeah, we could just get into the games. Might just be a shorter episode here for the Thursday schedule, but like I mentioned, there's 8 games. We do have lines for 7 of the 8 games. The one game that doesn't have confirmed pitchers quite yet. We think we may know who it is for the A's and the Rays game, but no official lines out just yet for that game. But we do have lines, like I mentioned, for the other 7 games on the schedule. But before we get to the games here on the Thursday card, hey, let me tell everyone about the college baseball tournament that is starting on Friday, I believe. Make sure you guys get over and check out Noah Beanick. He's got you guys covered with the college baseball experience. Hop on in the college baseball bracket contest for a chance to win a $200 SGPN gift card. All you got to do is go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket to enter. Again, college baseball experience with Noah Beanick, the college baseball tournament starting on Friday. Plus, we're running a Mega Memorial Day merch sale. 15% off of everything in the merch store. Promo code SGPN May. Act now because the sale does end on Friday. All right, D-Rock, let's get into it here, man. We'll start with the first game on the schedule. Lines will be courtesy of Bet Online because they are the ones that have them out first here for the Friday card. The Cubs, they will wrap up their series with the Brewers in Milwaukee, 1:10 Eastern start on Thursday. Jameson Taillon gets started here for the Chicago Cubs, and it'll be Colin Ray for the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers are a slight home favorite, -117 on the plus 107 for the Cubbies. Total is set at 8.5 in this game right now here. D-Rock, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Brewers here at home. Minus 110 I got on the money line. I made them actually a minus 140 favorite. I just think the Cubs, they're just not backable right now. They can't hit to save their lives. They're not really hitting anyone. And the only way they've been getting on base recently is by walking. They're sixth in the league in regards to walks per game. But outside of that, I just don't trust their bats. Brewers, they have a top 10 offense. And I think they'll be able to get to tie on where, the Brewers, they've been able to rake against righties. So I love the Brewers in this spot. Unless it's Imanaga on the mound, I really can't back the Cubs at this point. So I'm going to be on the Brew Crew here.
Yeah, Jameson Tyne has been pretty good over his last 5 games. And like you mentioned, it's just really been the offense that has not really been able to do anything for the Chicago Cubs side, frankly. Tyne over his last 5 games, 1-2 with a 2.93 ERA. Did face his Brewers team earlier this season. 6 shutout innings, only allowed 2 hits in that game, 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. Has given up at least 3 earned runs in his last 2 starts, and he hasn't made it to the 6th inning in his last 3 starts. So it's been a little rough for him over his last 3 starts for the Cubs. Meanwhile, Colin Ray, 2-2 over the last 5 games, the 4.73 ERA, 2-1 at home with a 3.38 ERA. Walks are a concern for him. He's allowed 7 walks over his last 2 starts against the Red Sox and the Astros there, D-Rock. So I'm leaning towards an under in this game here. I think the pitchers can go along well here. I think Colin Ray can bounce back, like you mentioned, against a struggling Cubs offense. I know they got a home run by Michael Busch on Wednesday night. Tuesday night, because they went to extra innings and he got that 3-run home run for the Cubs offense. But other than that, like you mentioned, it's been a struggle for them scoring runs right now. So under 8.5 would be the look that I have for the Cubs and Brewers for the Thursday card to get us started. Next game on schedule will go to a 1:10 Eastern start time on Thursday. We're going to go with the Kansas City Royals. They are facing the Minnesota Twins. Brady Singer taking the mound here for the Royals, and I see Chris Paddock for the Minnesota Twins. Twins are a minus 124 home favorite, plus 114 on the money line for the Royals. Total is 7.5 in this game here, D-Rock. What do you think about Singer versus, who did I say was pitching for them? Paddock.
Yeah, I love the dog here. Give me the Royals plus 110. I actually made them the minus 110 favorite. So again, some value here with the dog. I love Brady Singer. He's been great for the Royals this season. Only one bad start for him on the road earlier in the May against the Mariners team. But the Twins aren't really the best against righties. Only hitting around 219 on the year against righties. But I think we're going to see the Royals have some positive regression coming up. They haven't been playing the best baseball. They lost 3 straight, 13 and 14 straight up on the road. So they don't really play the best baseball on the road. But, I do think this is a good spot for them. I think they have the better lineup, and I think they have the better pitcher. So Brady Singer, I'll take him as a dog any day. Plus 110. Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with the Royals with you. I think they're severely underpriced here. I mean, you nailed it. Brady Singer has been absolutely fantastic. Just had that one bad start against the Brewers. Other than that, they've won 4 of his last 5 starts. Did face this Twins team earlier this season. 7 shutout innings. He only allowed 3 hits, 10 strikeouts in that game. The thing with Chris Paddock is that he's given up a home run in the last 4 starts that he has made for this Twins team. The walks aren't a concern for him, but he does give up contact, and I think that's the part that does make me nervous about him. But again, this Twins team, they're really a team that's streaky. And, when they're on, we saw them have a 10-game win streak, but when they're losing, it just goes the other way. And I think those are the waves that you have to ride with this Twins team. I know they got the first 2 games in the series on Monday and Tuesday against the Royals, but you have 2 of the better pitchers right now on Wednesday and Thursday for the Royals going here. So I think they can at least even the series before they get ready for the weekend series. So Royals for me here as well. On the plus price against the Twins. Next game on the schedule that we do have lines for, we'll go over in between the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. Houston Astros will be starting Spencer Arrighetti. Mariners will be starting Logan Gilbert. Mariners minus 136 on the money line right now, plus 125 for the Houston Astros. Total is 7.5 in this game here. D-Rock, what are your thoughts on the Astros and Mariners?
Yeah, I got to back the Mariners here at home. I got minus 134. It doesn't matter. Minus 136. I made them a minus 160 favorite. I'm surprised the books hung this short of a number with the Mariners. Spencer Arrighetti, no disrespect, I know he's in the majors, but he's just been awful on the road. 0-4 with over a 10 ERA, 19 runs given up in 16 innings. And this is the worst out of them all. Batters are hitting over 360 off of him on the road. Astros have literally lost every start he's made on the road this season. You just put your money on this. You just put your money on the road on this guy. You know, the Mariners, they've been playing better. Winners of 3 straight. They've also won 4 straight against this Astro team. So I think they're the better team. They have the better pitcher in Logan Gilbert as well. They do play much better at home. 17 and 10 straight up at home this season. So I think this is a good spot for them. Surprise, it might be a trap, but I'll bite. I like the Mariners here.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are what you mentioned, right? 0-4 for Spencer Arrighetti, 10 ERA. The Astros have lost 3 of his last 4 starts. I'm sorry, they won 2 of the last 4 starts, but it's really been carried by the offense in those games. And he's also a pitcher that gives up a lot of walks. He's allowed 13 walks in his 5 starts that he's made in the month of May. And I think that continues here. Logan Gilbert, like you mentioned, has been fantastic at T-Mobile Park. 4 starts, despite not recording a win, 0-1. He only has a 2.36 ERA. Did face his Astros team back on May 4th. 8 shutout innings, 2 hits in that span. Did have 6 strikeouts, and the Mariners won that game 5-0 in Houston. And in his career, honestly, he's been really good against the Astros team. 2021 season, 5-2 with a 1.5 ERA. He's won his last 3 starts that he's faced against his Astros team. And since the 2022 season, Logan Gilbert 5-1 with a 1.96 ERA against his Astros team. So, Mariners all for me here. I'm not in the world of backing Spencer Arrighetti here right now for this Astros team. Next game on the schedule here, D-Rock will go over to the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are in Citi Field to take on the Mets. Zach Gallen getting the start here for the D-backs, and it'll be Christian Scott getting the start here for the New York Mets. Looking at the lines for this game, the Arizona Diamondbacks are a minus 116 road favorite here, plus 106 on the money line for the New York Mets. Total is at 7.5 in this game here, D-Rock. Lead us off with your team.
You said minus 116 for the Snakes, right?
Yeah, for the Snake.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. If you're on bet online, I would definitely take that. I got a minus 124. I made him a minus 130 favorite. I'll make this one short and sweet, man. This one was easy for me. Munaf. D-backs on the money line. Take the plus money if you want to take them on the run line as well. But this Mets team, like Mal says, it's just in shambles. It's very sad to see, if I'm being honest. The only thing the Mets were able to hang their head on was their bullpen was really good. But oh my God, how the tables have turned. They look atrocious. No heart, no will or desire to even want to perform. Edwin Diaz looks he looks awful. Lindor's just looking at strike 3. The actions on the field are very telling. They don't want to be out there. So, and as much as I like this Christian Scott kid, the Mets they just don't provide for him. They don't give him any run support. And the one game that they did give him run support, the bullpen lost it in the end for him. So I feel bad for the guy. I truly do. I think he is a good prospect. He's just on a poverty organization. So you gotta back the better team and the better pitcher in Gallen. He's looked much better on the road in his last 2 starts as well. For whatever reason, Mets stink at home, 11-18 straight up on the year. So yeah, give me the Snakes on the money line and I'll take them on the run line.
Yeah, the Mets, I did see a note that Edwin Diaz went on the 15-day IL for Edwin Diaz and the Mets. So that may be a reason. And I also saw Pete Alonso left the game as well with a hand injury.
In the first inning. Inning.
So the wheels seems like they're getting even worse for the Mets right now. But Zach Gallen, he has been Zach Gallen-esque, right? No. I mean, the last start against the Marlins, he allowed 3 earned runs. I think it was early on, but did settle in after that. The Snakes have lost back-to-back starts that he has made. It was against the Tigers and it was against the Marlins. But again, like you mentioned, I don't know how you can put money right now on this Mets team. So I think you're getting a pretty good price on the Snakes here, minus 116 against the New York Mets. All right, D-Rock. Before we get over to the next game on the schedule, let me tell everyone about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. The NBA playoffs are here, and our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and so much more. Make entries of all basketball or mix and match across your other favorite sports, and you can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Underdog is available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, and even Canada. Underdog will be running different promos, bonus cash airdrops, specials, giveaways, and more throughout the NBA playoffs. So make sure to follow at Underdog Picks on Twitter to keep an eye out. Underdog is available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, and Canada. They also just launched Champions, their player versus player format in Florida. Sign up with promo code MLB SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Make sure that promo code MLB SGPN. All right, D-Rock, let's keep it rolling here, man. Kind of flying through it here. I know there's only 8 games, 3 games left here. Let's go with the Detroit Tigers. They are at Fenway Park to take on those Red Sox. Currently seeing Jack Flaherty getting the start here for the Tigers. That again the start here for the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox are a slight home favorite here of minus 115, plus 105 on the money line for the Tigers. 8.5 is the total in this game here, D-Rock. What are your thoughts on the Tigers and the Red Sox?
Yeah, I know you and I were talking beforehand if it was going to be Kenta Maeda, I thought I saw, or Jack Flaherty. It doesn't matter. I'm still on the Red Sox here at home, minus 115. I made them a minus 130 favorite with Pivetta on the mound. I like this Tiger team, don't get me wrong, and I think they can be sneaky in some situations, but I just don't have the most confidence in Flaherty as of late. The Tigers have lost 5 of his last 6 starts. Just like I was mentioning with Christian Scott, the Tigers are another team, and this is another incident where they just don't get him any run support. Strikeouts are high. He goes deep into games. He's a good pitcher. They just can't get him run support. It's very upsetting. Maybe an out prop. I know last time you and I were on a podcast, I gave an out prop around 17 and a half. I would take the over on Jack Flaherty's out prop. He's gone over it in 5 straight games. He's gone 6+ innings in 5 straight games as well. So regardless how he's doing, he gives the Tigers some good length. But I think that'd be probably my best bet. Yeah, the Red Sox were getting a short number with them at home, but I think I like the out prop a little more. So yeah, give me Jack Flaherty, his out 17 and a half.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to a first 5 over in this game. Flaherty, he's going to give it up. He gives up a lot of hard contact. He's allowed at least 2 earned runs in 4 straight starts. But you mentioned the outs have been there for him. And he's also a strikeout pitcher. He's put together back-to-back games of 9 strikeouts in each of the last 2 starts against the Snakes and the Blue Jays. Did have a 14 strikeout game against his former team in the Cardinals. So he's a strikeout pitcher. He's going to get him. He had 7 against the Astros as well. And Nick Pivetta, I'm not sure I trust, especially at Fenway Park. Last start was against the Brewers at Fenway Park, 3 1/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs allowed. Against the Rays, he gave up 2 earned runs, 4 hits. 2 of those 4 hits were home runs. He gave up 3 home runs to the Atlanta Braves. So he gives up contact as well. So I think that there's an opportunity that we see some runs being scored at least early on in this game between these 2 pitchers. Couldn't talk you off of a first 5 over, maybe even a full game over as well. I'm not sure I do trust that Red Sox open either. So over would be the look in this game, despite the lack of run support that Flaherty has gotten in his starts. But I think Nick Pivetta can definitely give it up to this Tigers offense as well. 7:20 Eastern start time. The Nationals, they are taking on the Braves. Currently seeing Trevor Williams will get the start here for the Nationals, and it'll be Ronaldo Lopez for the Atlanta Braves. Braves are an overwhelming minus 220 home favorite, plus 198 on the money line for the Nationals. Total is at 8.5 in this game here. Dylan, what do you think about the Nationals and the Braves?
I hate to put a damper on our friend in the chat, Stop Geo Engineering, but I'm actually going to be on the over here. I know he said he's on the under 8.5. I'm going to go over 8.5 at minus 105. I made my total 9.4. I was on the over in this series, I think like 2 days ago. The game flew over. I know both teams are under teams, but we got two good pitchers in Williams and Lopez, but Williams does tend to give up a lot more hard contact on the road and more runs than at home. Also, 4 of his last 6 starts on the road have flew over this total as well. So we're seeing high totals whenever Williams is on the road. So 2 good lineups. I like this national lineup. I think they could hit as well. We already know what the Braves could do. We got winds blowing out into center field as well. So I think we could see some runs despite them both being under teams. So I'll take a shot here on the over 8.5.
Yeah, Ronaldo Lopez seems like he's starting to give it up a little bit. I know he was absolutely lights out in the month earlier, I would say, in the season. But last start, he allowed 2 earned runs off of 5 hits and 4 2/3, 2 earned runs and 6 1/3. And again, the run support, it's been there, but it feels like that it hasn't been to the Atlanta Braves standards, right? Because we're just automatically seeing this team just putting up 4 or 5 runs within a blink of an eye. But and again, a lot of that has to do with some of the injuries, especially with now Ronald Acuna Jr. being out for this Braves team for the foreseeable future with the torn ACL. The last time that happened was in 2021, and they made some trades to go out and get some replacement guys for Ronald Acuna. I think they had gotten, I think it was Adam Duvall at the time and Jorge Soler as well. So we'll see if they do go out and make a move. But look, Trevor Williams has been pretty good on the road. He's 2-0 with a 2.73 ERA. I kind of want to see how he's done against the Braves in his career. 2-1 with 3.48 ERA. He's a couple earned runs over his last 2 starts. And we're waiting for like Ronaldo Lopez to blow up at some point. At home, I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's only allowed 4 earned runs in 29 2/3 innings pitched. So could it be this game? It's possible. I really did. This was the one game I was struggling with because, again, I was with our guy in the leaning towards the under. Typically, when I do that, I feel like it goes the other way for me. So didn't really have a play on this game. I didn't want to lay the 220 price either with the Braves. So this one will stay away from me at least for the rubber match between the Nationals and the Braves. Last game of the night, 9:38 Eastern start time. The New York Yankees, they wrap up their series against the LA Angels. Carlos Rodon getting the start here for the Yankees, and it'll be Patrick Sandoval for the LA Angels. Yankees are a -175 road favorite here, +160 on the money line for the Angels. Total is to that 8, moving towards 8.5 in this game here. Dylan, what do you got for the Yankees and the Angels?
Yeah, just like that Braves game, I just don't think there's any value here with the Yankees, even on the run line. Like, I just need plus money to take the Yankees on the run line at this point in the season. I can't back the Angels either. I just feel like they're terrible at home. 7-19 straight up at home. So if anything, I had no real feel for this game. Small lean towards the over. I made my total 8.6. So right above that 8.5 line. Basically, just going to fade Sandoval in this spot. The last few starts for him at home have not been good and against lesser competition. Now going up against the Yankees, who have one of the best lineups in baseball. Just don't think this could be a good spot for them. I think this is a great spot for the Yankees. They lost 2 in a row. Kind of see some regression coming. This is a chance for them to get back into the win column. Overs have been very profitable in Anaheim this year. 16-10 toward the over at home for the Angels. Going to have winds blowing out in California tomorrow as well. So I expect Carlos Rodon to give up some runs as well. I know how good their bullpen is, but I think we see some runs in this game. So if anything, I'll lean the over.
Yeah, I was looking at the Yankees team total over in this game. I think this is a spot for them to really get to Patrick Sandoval. 0-4 at home, 7.11 ERA, 5 starts at Angel Stadium. 20 earned runs, 25 and 3rd. I know 8 of those came against the Cleveland Guardians in his last start, but I think that there's an opportunity for the Yankees offense at least to shine in this game. So, and again, Patrick Sandoval, he's faced 2 teams in the East thus far this season. 3 starts, 5.40 ERA, 7 earned runs allowed, and 11 2/3 innings pitched. So, and Carlos Rodon, his last 4 starts has actually been pretty good. He's gone at least 6 innings in all 4 of those starts. The Yankees have won all 4 of those starts. They won all 4 of those starts by, let's see here, 8, 5, 4, and 5. So they've won all 4 of those starts against the opposition by at least 4 runs. So I think that Rodon can go along well here. The one thing that does make me a little bit nervous is that the Angels have been one of the better teams against left-handed pitching this season. Want to trim this down to see how they've done over the last 2 weeks. But yeah, they're still number Could be a tricky spot. They also do strike out a lot against left-handed pitching. So if you want to look at a Rodon strikeout prop or an outs prop, wouldn't be able to talk you off of that. But I think the Yankees offense can get some runs and some hits off of Patrick Sandoval here in this game.
Real quick, Munaf.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for a player for the Yankees, because I know there's no real value with them. Anthony Volpe's been absolutely amazing this season.
Yep.
At the number one hole, he's on a 20-game hitting streak. So maybe you want to look at his total base prop. We'll see what he does tonight, but I expect him to get on base. He's aggressive. He steals. So maybe look at a total base or an HRR, hits, runs, and RBI prop. They're very selective on the books that they do. I know it's either like DraftKings or BetMGM has them, but yeah, I would look towards Anthony Volpe. The kid's been on fire recently.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty smart thing of moving him into the top of the lineup there, right? Because especially when you have those power hitters behind you with Soto and Judge and Stanton at the time when he's hot, I think that's only to their advantage. So I'm really not a fan of having those power guys at the top of the lineup. I mean, Ohtani is a guy that he's obviously a 5-tool guy, but he's not just a power hitter. He's a guy that can get on base for you as well. And then you have the guys behind him with obviously, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. I know Ohtani's in the 2-hole, but you still have guys behind him that can drive him in, and he scores a lot of runs as well. So I'm always a fan of having those guys that hit for average and get on base in front of your power hitters. And I think that's kind of worked out right now for not only Volpe, but also for the Yankees offense as well. All right, so that's the last game of the Thursday card. 7 of the 8 games we do have lines for. No pitchers yet for the Rays and the A's in the final game of that series. But before we do get into our lock and dog for the Thursday card here, let me tell everyone about our friends over at Rhythm. If you're betting on NBA player props, well, you want to check out Rhythm. Rhythm gives you a menu of the best player props for every single NBA playoff game, making it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Rhythm's predictions are backed by over 3 years of data and a team of data scientists and quants that focus on fine-tuning our algorithm to give you the best shot at winning. Rhythm pairs its predictions with player prop graphs to help you feel even more confident in your picks, which can make wherever you normally place your bets or your DFS picks as well. From superstars to bench players, Rhythm finds the best player prop lines, all backed by AI data, without you needing to endlessly scroll through a sportsbook. Rhythm also allows you to create your own custom NBA models, so you can get AI-backed money line, spread, and total picks for every playoff game. Start a free 7-day trial and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm, available wherever you do get your apps. All right, let's get into it here for our lock and dog and TVDBJ. You know the drill, sir. You are late. Go ahead and donate to the charity bowl there. So we'll get into our lock and dog here. D-Rock, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, I was in the flip-flopping between my locks, whether you just want to continue to fade the Mets or take the Mariners. I like this spot for the Mariners. I'm going to back them here at home. I'm just not a fan of Spencer Arrighetti. To be honest, the whole cap was to fade him. We already read the numbers, him on the road, 0-4 with over a 10 ERA. I think Logan Gilbert will be have a good solid outing against him at home. Mariners really good at home. I'm going to take the Mariners here. Minus 132, minus 134, whatever you could get. I think it's a solid price. And for my dog, it was one of the earlier games we talked about. I'm going to go to the Royals. I just, like you said, I just think they're very underpriced, especially with one of their best pitchers in Brady Singer. I get it. It's on the road. Chris Paddock has been decent. But I think we're going to start to see some positive regression come from this Royal team. And like you said with the Twins, they're kind of very up and down. When they're up, they're up. But when they're down, they're down. So I'm going to back the Royals here. I think this is a good spot for them. Twins, they don't really hit righties all that well. So I'm going to be on the Royals here as my dog of the day at plus 110.
All right. For my lock, I'll take the Diamondbacks. I think you're getting a good price here, minus 116. Again, Edwin Diaz, I think that might be a bad thing if you're backing the Diamondbacks. You want him out there probably pitching because of how bad he's been, but he's dealing with an injury. The bullpen shortening up. Pete Alonso left the game in the first inning, so you're losing a bat there. And I think that this, again, Dylan's mentioned that this Mets team is just in really bad form right now, and I think this number for the Diamondbacks is definitely going to be on the move. I wouldn't be surprised if we get to north of -120, -125 into the range of -130. So right now, you get a -116 currently over on Bet Online for this game between the Mets and the D-backs. So again, D-backs lock -116. For my dog, I like the Royals as well, but you know how that goes when anytime we double have a dog on the same pick. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take the Mariners on the run line, -1.5 plus 155. Spencer Arrighetti, we talked about it, 0-4 on the road with a ERA north of 10, and I'm quickly going to read off what what the runs that he's given up and the final scores in those games that he has pitched on the road for the Astros thus far this season. So Spencer Arrighetti, like I mentioned, 0-4 on the road, 1.36 ERA. The final scores in those games have been 2 in favor of the Royals. We'll go to the next game. That was against the Cubs. Won that game 4-3. So they didn't cover there. They didn't cover the run line there. That's because the Astros put up a run in the top of the 9th inning there, but they would have covered. Against the Yankees, 9-4 in favor of the Yankees. And the last game, which was against the A's won 3-1. So Logan Gilbert, like I mentioned, has really good history against this Astros team, and I think that's going to carry into this game against the Mariners against the Astros, what I'm trying to say. So run line -1.5 plus 155 for the Mariners as my dog.
Well, we even got Lonte in the chat fading the Mets. I love it.
There we go. Yeah, got to hammer the Snakes right now. So again, right now over on Bet Online, it's -116. I do expect this number to move significantly overnight, and if you guys get to this pod. So again, get to it sooner rather than later.
Real quick, all right, Munaf, any update on the mic?
So I did get a new one. I did upgrade the internet. I think it's always something that's in the evening, because when I do the NBA pod, it's not that bad. And I do some of the other pods as well. I listen to the playback, and I don't know what it is, man. So I think the next thing might be to just throw this laptop in the dumpster and get a new one. So that might be the next move right now for the mic situation. So yeah, I think it like goes in and out. I don't know what the case. I'm still gonna try to tweak it and see what it is. And even I've all like the windows closed as well, so I might have to just get another like a screen. Because I think it happens when I'm flipping in and between in and out of like windows
tabs.
Yeah. So I have my stats page up and things like that. So I think that's where it kind of goes in and out. So hopefully I can get it fixed sooner rather than later. So yeah, just bear with me, guys. Out. All right. So again, short episode, only about 35 minutes here. Only have 8 games on the Thursday schedule as we usually do. Full game schedules back on Friday to start the weekend to close out the month of May. Can't believe it. We're approaching June, almost going to be halfway through the year of 2024. All right, make sure you guys follow D-Rock on Twitter. That's at Rock with 2 Ks, 24. You can follow me there as well at SportsNerd824. More importantly, make sure you guys subscribe to the MLB Gambling Podcast YouTube channel if you haven't already, and leave us a rating and review if you haven't already. The Malcolm fan club was out in full force in the podcast reviews that we were getting for the pod. So maybe show some love to the some of the other hosts. Maybe not me, maybe for D-Rock, maybe for Scott, maybe for Lonte. Or maybe you could leave a 5-star review and be like, Munaf's mic is absolutely terrible. He needs to get upgraded. So whatever the case might be. All right, we'll be back tomorrow in some form or fashion. Look out for us then. Till then, good luck with your bets. Let's break these books off and let it ride.